بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنا علي درويش. أنا واحد من الناس اللي عايشة في سنغافور بقالي 3 سنين إن كانش أكتر. بشتغل هنا في شركة مياه، واحدة من أكبر شركات المياه في العالم، بتبني محطات تحلية ومحطات كهرباء. واحد من الناس اللي اتشرفت إن أنا أقابل سيادة الرئيس لما جه سنغافور، وعرفت إن في فريق جاي من مصر، من جامعة عين شمس، يمثل مصر في المسابقة، واتحمست جدا. وطلب مني ان انا اجاوب على مجموعه من الاسئله اللي انتوا حضرتوها، فقررت ان انا هجاوب على حبه منهم، وفي نفس الوقت اصحابي اللي عايشين في سنغافور يجاوبوا على الباقي، فتاخدوا برضو فليفر من الناس هنا عامله ازاي. فاول سؤال جالي: what do Singaporeans speak؟ السنغافوريين ان جنرال كلهم بيتكلموا انجليزي. دي حاجه من الحاجات اللي اول رئيس وزراء جالهم اللي هو لي كوان يو قرر ان هو يعملها. فهم كلهم بيتكلموا انجليزي، ولكن هم من اثنيك جروبس مختلفه، فيا هيكونوا بيتكلموا يا صيني يا هندي يا ماليزي. والانجليزي بتاعهم ممكن ياخدكم فتره ان انتوا تتعودوا عليه، فهم حتى بيسموه سينجلش. بيمط في الكلام شويه، هو مش زي الانجليزي بتاع المصريين ولكن هو مختلف شويه. تاني سؤال جالي: what's the main dish in Singapore to try؟ الاكل هنا is very diverse، مختلف تماما عن الاكل اللي احنا بنعرفه في مصر، ولكن عشان هم ديانات مختلفة وثقافات مختلفة وباك جراوندز مختلفة، فهتلاقي حاجات كتيرة قوي. حاجة من الحاجات اللي انا شخصيا بحبها بيسموها التشيكن رايس. الرز بيبقى شبه الرز بتاع الفراخ بتاعنا اللي هو بتاع الملوخية، والتشيكن بيعملوها بشكل حلو قوي. في حاجات تانية زي اللكسا ممكن تبقى حراقة شوية. في اكل ماليزي بيبقى زي البيرناكان كويزين، وفي اللي هو زي الاكل الهندي اللي هو ممكن تلاقي روتي براتا، ناسي لاماك، برضو دي حاجه ماليزي. والميزه هنا ان لو عايزين حلال هتلاقوا كتير قوي. هي سنغافور كلها صغيره، ولكن هي جزء منها هي كانت جزء من ماليزيا قبل كده، ففي حوالي 80 جامع في سنغافور، فان انت تلاقي اكل حلال الموضوع مش صعب تماما. فانا بقى عايزكم تجربوا حاجات كتيره قوي، وفي نفس الوقت هي اتس فيري تروبيكال ايلاند، فهتلاقوا ان في فواكه كتيره قوي مش موجوده في مصر، زي الستار فروت او الدراجون فروت. ف just keep on trying. السؤال التاني كان: is street food safe in Singapore؟ absolutely. كل ستور او كل ستول او هوكر سنتر زي ما بيقولوا في سنغافور، وزاره الصحه بتحط عليه جريدنج، فهي A يا B. A طبعا هو بيبقى the cleanest، بس ده هيبقى معظمها ريستورانتس. B معناها ان it's still safe. C اصلا مش هتلاقي. how many days do you need to discover most of the city؟ سنغافور كلها على بعضها 40 كيلو في 20 كيلو، يعني اصغر من القاهره الكبرى، فانت 3-4 ايام تقدر تكون لفتها كلها، ليترلي لفتها كلها. اخر سؤال انا هجاوب عليه هو: if we are to stay in downtown Singapore بعد the competition, what's the best hotel او hostel to stay in؟ ده سؤال صعب شويه، يعتمد على البادجت بتاعتكم، ولكن انا هرجح انكم يمكن تقعدوا في اير بي ان بي. معظم الهوستلز في الحتت او الريجنز اللي هتلاقيها هابينج شويه هتبقى زي كلارك كي، تشاينا تاون، وبوغس. في هوتيل 81 بس يمكن ما يناسبش كل الناس. that's pretty much it، وهخلي اصحابي هم بقى اللي يكملوا بقيه الاسئله. good luck، وهستناكم في سنغافورة.
Hello, my name is John and I'm from Singapore. I have 5 questions to go through. The first one is: what's the weather like during March? Typically, Singapore is hot and humid all year round. We're a tropical island right by the equator. But this year, maybe because of climate change, we have been having considerable showers, which have produced a relatively cooler climate, especially in the evenings. The second question: what's the fastest way to get around Singapore? Which is the most convenient and comfortable? Public transportation generally works very well in Singapore. Extensive network of trains, both above and underground. I often choose trains to get around because they are air conditioned and it's like I said, a very extensive network. But there's also Uber, there is also taxi and buses. The third question, which is a related one, is: what is the cheapest way of getting around Singapore? Cycling is not really big in Singapore. Walking, you will have to sweat quite a lot in the climate. So usually I would say train or buses would be the cheapest way to get around. The fourth question is: What is the difference between MRT and LRT? Well, LRT has a smaller capacity and it services mainly a handful of residential areas, whereas the MRT, it's more extensive. And last, what are the best places for natural scenery? There are quite a few. I'll just name some of the more iconic ones. Mount Faber, Henderson Wave, McRitchie Reservoir, Botanical Gardens, Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, the Treetop Walk, and also Sentosa Island.
So, what are the best places for natural scenery in Singapore? You can check out Mount Faber, which is connected to the Henderson Waves. There are bridges that look like waves, very iconic. You can check out the McRitchie Reservoir and go for the Treetop Walk. For a more curated experience, you can try the Botanic Gardens, lovely, and also check out Bukit Timah Nature Reserve because Bukit Timah is the tallest hill in Singapore. And if you're looking for a more futuristic nature experience, check out Gardens by the Bay with those super trees that you've seen. And what is the best way to get to and from Sentosa? So, full disclosure, I actually helped to oversee the running of Sentosa Island for my job, and I know Sentosa really well. So, you can take the Sentosa Express, which is kind of like a very slow MRT from Vivocity, or you can try walking to Sentosa from, again, Vivocity. Via a boardwalk if you feel like taking a stroll. Is public transportation safe at night? Absolutely. Public transportation is super safe at night. When does it close? MRT trains usually stop around midnight and there are a few night buses, but at night it's best to take a cab or Uber. What's illegal in Singapore and that we should take into consideration? You should not drink on the streets after 10 p.m. and you should not eat or drink on public transport. Do not litter, even though nobody really catches you for it. Do not sell chewing gum, but you can chew gum, we're not so bad. And yes, do not vandalize anything. Yeah, you can be caned for that. So, next question. Do's and don'ts in Singapore. Do definitely eat hawker food. Definitely hang out with locals. They'll show you a good time and show you where the locals hang out. And check out Rooftop Bar for great views of the city at night. Don't just hang out in touristy areas. Don't bother to dress up too nicely because it gets really humid and you perspire a lot. So pretty casual here. Don't forget to bring an umbrella sometimes because it can rain out of nowhere. So that's all for me. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and the first question is Singapore a good place for shopping? Yes, you can find many places in Singapore to shop. You can go to Bugis or you can go to Orchard Road for more bigger brands. If you're looking for electronics, you can go to Sim Lim Square. Next question is what should you bring along while traveling to Singapore? Generally, you can find everything you need in Singapore. Most importantly, bring a mosquito repellent and chewing gum as you might miss it. Next question is whether we can dive in the ocean in Singapore. Actually, Singapore is not really well known for diving, but you can find a few spots if you really want to. But you can always swim in the sea at Sentosa Island. Is the rooftop pool at Marina Bay Sands worth viewing? Generally, you have to book a room to swim in the swimming pool, but you can just buy a ticket for the observational deck to see the skyline of the Singapore. Last but not least, are you going to watch us in the competition? Yes, Master of Aldonia.